If you can change your hyperfixations, then you can learn to change your mind about some important things. The astrology of this week is not here to play. There's a Mars square Uranus coming at the end of the week that you might already be feeling by like that back and forth, kind of when you drive a shift and it doesn't want to go. Spicy, prickly, short tempered, short fuse, deep rooted anger, changing your mind, the fragility of flexibility. Those are some of the things that come to mind. It will be interesting, especially considering the landscape of things for us. Let's get to it. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Graciela Moore. I am an ICF certified personal coach, and I wrote Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace. In this agenda, you get to plan your whole week, follow the moon, and when we gather in this broadcast, I like to talk about the astrology of the week so that we can prepare mentally and emotionally and not be blindsided by the drama. This is about wellness. This is about mental health. This is about peace of mind. This is about owning our actions and detracting or separating ourselves from the people, places, and things that don't really resonate with us at a soul level. The astrology is just my personal interest that as a coach I like to translate because we're all under the same sky and we all have this astrological map that whether it's a theory or not, whether the planets are really there or they're just hanging from some huge production set, the lore is there and I want to pick through it. And this week is interesting because it is that midpoint of eclipse season. Now, I see this week and I see two sides of it. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the chart. It is chaos. It's almost like a push and pull, and it might not just be energetically, but some of the things in your life might be behaving in that kind of way. Now, this is the chart. Notice how there is a lot happening from Aquarius into Pisces. But even though there's a lot of drama on the chart or in your life or just in the atmosphere as a whole, let's be honest, Venus is in Pisces where it is exalted, which means is thriving in the waters of Pisces, good taste, good humor, love, relationships, money, wealth, and all that makes life just be a vibe. That's Venus in Pisces. And then Jupiter is trining Venus, Jupiter in Cancer, where it is also exalted. So even though Mars and Uranus and Mercury retrograde, and this being the midpoint of the eclipse season, even though there's a lot of drama, there's also a lot of things to be grateful for, a lot of hope, a lot of art being created, so many amazing lyrics about the things that are happening when we look back on this time 20, 30 years from now, when we are probably discussing some of the astrology, then we will look back at this time with art of the resistance and with art from victims who are ready to speak up. We're going to look back at this time with art from people who broke the chains of management that were holding them back. We're going to look back on this time reading books about self enlightenment, enlightening others, helping others become aware of just life. And we're going to look back at this time, hopefully, as a time where we really knew ourselves enough to make the right choices for us and our family, despite what the propaganda tells us to fall for. And Mercury retrograde always marks those waters of what's true, what's not, what needs to be revealed, what has been revealed before that you might now come to terms with. What are the things in your life that you thought you were done with, but now they just loop back around? And the premise of meditation, metacognition, enlightenment, and just doing the self work is that when those loops come back around, you already know how to close them. You already know because you've already decided. How is it that you feel about them? What is it that you want to do with them? Etc. And those are the themes that might come up this week with some of this astrology. Now, as always, the moon is our anchor in the emotional realm to support ourselves through it all. Your natal moon is the most important part, but let's just talk about where the moon is this week so that we can see how we can just add a little umph to it all. As always, don't forget that if you're going to look for any of the astrology on astroseek.com, you want to change your local time so that you get the most accurate information as it pertains to you. That said, we started the week with the moon in Taurus. So if you felt Sunday and Monday like you did not want to participate, you don't want to go to work, you feel heavy, and you just want to rest, that might have been it. But by now, Tuesday and Wednesday, in this official midpoint of eclipse season, the moon is in Gemini and chatty, friendly, always creative, prone to gossip. Gemini is very in tune with the things that are happening in the news. Gemini wants to be informed so that then we can pass on the message. So that's why it's important to know your sources, to know where you get your information, and to trust the information that you receive. If something doesn't feel right to you, if something just doesn't resonate with you, then decide what you're going to do with that information. Now, here's how the moon this week supports the drama that is happening astrologically. It is a first quarter moon, and the first quarter is about embracing the opportunities that show up as growth. Embrace the lessons. Mercury retrograde will bring up so much emotionally, creatively. We've talked before about how Mercury governs travel, communication, technology, and when it goes retrograde, some of these things might glitch. Think GPS, think airport delays, think transfers that don't show up right away, think emails that stay in your sent later emails instead of being sent right away. Think of emails that you just type wrong instead of typing them right. There's a lot of miscommunication. But because Venus is in Pisces and Jupiter is in Cancer, this is about the inner self, the inner communication. And it's a perfect time to ponder what are the habits that you're currently working on and how do they really support your nervous system and the life that you want to create as opposed to the life you're living right now or not. See, Mercury also governs order, Virgo. And so how you do things and when you do them is going to be highlighted in this retrograde. I mentioned earlier the fragility of flexibility, and the perfect example is that I'm in the process of moving my recording area to a different spot in the house. And when it came time to record this episode this weekend, I found myself thinking, I can't do it because that spot is not ready. I can't do it because I need that spot to be ready the way I like it, just so. When in reality, there's I don't know how many walls in this space that I can set up and do this. That's flexibility. And unburdening myself of the weight of thinking that I have to do this episode with a specific background on a specific spot is ridiculous. Because at the end of it all, my goal in working from home, in owning a business, and in doing our thing is for us to have flexibility and freedom. And I cannot expect my life and my environment to flow in a flexible way if I am not flexible myself. And those are some of the things that are coming up for me personally. What's coming up for you? Because there's just so much. By Thursday and Friday, which is when this Mars square Uranus is going to go exact, the moon is going to be in Cancer. So our emotional side is going to be highlighted and enhanced by Jupiter in Cancer when the drama ensues. And I say drama because Mars square Uranus screams of volatility. So if you're trading in the stock market, beware of what's going to happen on Friday. Hopefully, it doesn't crash like we have been talking and anticipating for a while now. The moon is going to be in Leo Saturday and Sunday when we start a brand new month. And the thing about starting a brand new month is that in the agenda, you get to manifest, you get to think about some realistic goals that you want to do for the month. I have my own personal goals. I have book narrations that I am working on. And I also have, for the subscribers that support my business every month, you can check the link in the description to become a part of it. But I'm already working on your March wellness plan and your meditation that should be in your inbox this week. So there's just a lot. There's a lot going on. I want to say thank you. Hola, Margarita. Gracias. I love you so much, Titi. Thank you to Peter. Thank you to Adam. Thank you to Christina. Thank you to all of the friends who have bought books in the last week and supported my business by joining the journey of planning their life, getting to the Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace 2026 manifestation agenda slash journal. Please get yours in the link as well. And I will be back because there's just so much happening politically and culturally in this moment. Now, as always, every Monday in the book, there's an affirmation that correlates to the moon and hopefully carries you through the rest of the week. Let's take a look at what that is. As the young moon stirs and the dreamer's tide rises, I plant my hopes in gentle soil. May patience root my visions deep, and may every tender act become a prayer made real. And so it is. How is this astrology showing up for you? Remember that if you're feeling dysregulated, take a deep breath, search the meditations on my videos, join the Patreon subscribers every month so that you can receive an audio meditation on your email. Stay safe, and I will see you next week. Bye.